Hello, BookTube. Well, I have to admit, my last few attempts at mail hauls have not gone well. Have had large mail hauls in the last couple of days, and for one reason or another, of course, I turn the camera on immediately when that happens. But for one reason or another, the resulting mail hauls were not uploadable. They were distracted or rambling or just poor quality for Steve Donahue Studios. So I haven't done it now. Very wise heads among you have pointed out that I don't need to open packages on camera to show you new books. That is entirely true. So I will show you the new books, or at least most of them, the ones that are of any interest to you. I will show you those. But I want to try another mail haul. I want to keep trying until I get one that actually works. I've got one here. I want to see how this will work. So we will go down these packages in ascending order of bulk and see if that gets us anywhere. The first one is so thin and flat that it probably is either a slim volume of poetry or a catalog. And I'm okay either way. I'm okay with either one of those things. Oh, it's a catalog. And it's not just a catalog, it's a catalog for my favorite mainstream publisher, W. Norton. Fantastic. This is their summer 2020 catalog with the golden edition of a request sheet. Fantastic. Oh my. Okay, well, this is going to be full of things that I want to tell you about, but I always feel a little strange just dragging you through. See, this is exactly the sort of thing that was one of the things that made previous mail hauls go wrong, is that I just get so caught up in what I'm doing. Okay, well, we'll get to all of these books. I want all of these things. We'll get to all of these things. So let's just skip to the paperback section. We'll skip to the paperback section just to see. Oh man, I want a lot of these things. Just to see if maybe Steve is blurbed on any Norton paperbacks. That would be lovely. Probably not, but it would be lovely. And also, this is not proof positive because they don't always include all the blurbs. Actually, I'm not seeing any blurbs on these. And I don't know how many, off the top of my head, I don't know how many Norton big releases I actually did last. Oh, there's hardly any. Oh, okay. All right. Well, then my my blurb total for W. Norton and Liverite will be better than what it looks here, because it'll include a lot that isn't in here. Okay. Okay, great. Oh my. All right. Well, I'm gonna put this aside then. All right. So we're off to a fine start. I will lovingly pour over this, and oh wait, there we go. I opened right at random to oh man, fantastic. Oh, the Stephen Budiansky biography of Oliver Wendell Holmes. A named blurb. Look at that. Fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, well, that's good enough right there. I don't know how much else is in here. I know I reviewed a lot of W. Norton books, but at least now you know to wait for the paperback of that Oliver Wendell Holmes biography. I guess it's going to have yours truly right on. All right, so that's a fantastic start. And then the next one is from Princeton University Press, and it is equally small and thin. So it could also be a catalog. Didn't we get the Princeton catalog just recently? This could be a slim volume of poetry. Let's see. It is. It's a slim volume of poetry. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So this is scheduled for April, and this is by Stephanie Burt. Probably a lot of you will know Stephanie Burt, and it's called After Callimachus. So I don't. Let's see here. Callimachus transformed the way poetry was written and appreciated, but you probably never heard of him. In this book, esteemed poet and critic Stephanie Burt translates and adapts the work, spirit, and letter of Callimachus to today's poetry readers. Rather than accurate scholarly translation, Burt adapts, cuts, and expands upon Callimachus's surviving poems so as to modernize them. Okay, well, we've seen that done, right? We've seen that done many times, and sometimes it's brilliant. Sometimes it brings out the absolute best in the writer. Other times it just sends you running back to the original, although I can't imagine anybody running back to Callimachus. But either way, the inventiveness of it is fine by me. That's great. All right, now we'll move on. This one is from Oxford University Press, but it is also thin and light. Again, I think I've already seen their catalog. Oh, right. Okay, yes. This is thin and light because it's a tiny little book. It's a tiny little book. It comes out in March. It's by Olivier Roy, translated by Cynthia Schock. And it's by Hearst Publishers. It's distributed by Oxford, and it's called Is Europe Christian? That is what it's going to look like, I think. Is Europe Christian? The importance of Christianity in European history, even to the very idea of Europe, cannot be doubted. However, lurking behind debates over Islam and even Judaism versus Christianity are much deeper inquiries about the nature of Europe. Sorry, Frida's borrowing on the bed. And its relationship to religion in general. The author seeks to investigate the serious crisis surrounding European identity and the place of religion in the public sphere in his new book. Tiny little thing. So I don't know what you can do. I guess you could answer the question. The answer to the question depends on when you mean. If you're picking 2020, when this book comes out, then the answer is a resounding no. If you pick virtually any other century, the answer would be yes. But we'll see. This comes out in March. So, okay, great. So it's tiny, but it could pack a punch. And then we'll move on. The packages get bulkier from here, and also a little stranger. Some of these may be presents. I can't imagine getting more than one present at the same time from you all, especially since I can't imagine getting presents from you at all. Right? Because I have stressed over and over again that if you want to get me a present, phone in store credit at the Brattle Bookshop. No outlay, no waiting in stores, no waiting in line, no dragging things to the post office, no nothing like that. Just call in store credit, and Bob's your uncle. I will be overjoyed at that. I know that store credit is usually considered to be the last resort of a gift, something that you don't want to do, but store credit at the Brattle is quite different from that. So what have we got here? It is a present. Oh my goodness gracious. It's a present from one of you. Well, that is just so nice. It's just so nice. And it's not the only one I've had in the last few days. It's amazing. It's been almost every day. Well, this is just the nicest thing. So it's gift wrapped. What have we got here? It's probably a book. I have said many times, more than I can count, don't get me a book. Do you listen? No. What is this, baby bee? Huh? What is this? She's very curious. I don't know if you can see. She's right here. She's not fussing around on the floor anymore. She's very curious. The ordinary book packages she knows a mile off now, but if it's something unusual, okay. It's a hardcover Regency romance by Fiona Hill called Sweet's Folly. A hardcover, my only hardcover Regency. To sweet Honoria Newcomb, the news that she was a burden to her maiden aunts came as a shock. On Prudence, on Mercy, indeed. They had always been a trifle eccentric in their housekeeping, but they had raised Honoria ever since she was orphaned, and never once had she been denied a thing. Still, she could not argue with the evidence of her own years, and Honoria resolved at once to relieve her beloved aunts of the financial strain she had unwittingly become. Are you hacking up something, baby bean? Did you eat something you're not supposed to? Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. And yet, how to do so? Rural Regency England, alas, offered but few alternatives for a young lady of quality determined to leave the home of her childhood. Honoria flies straight away to the side of her friend Emily Blackwood to confer upon the matter. Emily, a talented and ambitious artist, rejects out of hand Honoria's feeble suggestion that she can earn her keep as a governess or lady's companion. Who on earth would hire so gentle and fragile a lady? That noise you hear is my miniature schnauzer choking to death. She has not left these packages alone. She has not stopped eating unidentified objects off the floor. She has decided suddenly to become a bad dog. And she'll grow out of it. So let's continue here. This next one is bulky. It is way too light to be a book. It is going to be another present. It is. It's another present. This is another present. I can't thank you enough, but store credit at the Brattle. No buying gifts, no waiting in line, no wrapping, no nothing. Oh, look at that. That is lovely. So, okay, the card describes the contents of the package. The package, I might point out, has kittens all over it. And the item itself are called Yaktrax. And I don't know if you're going to be able to make this out. They are things that you put over the bottom of your shoe. They're like treads on a car, on a tire. They're metal things that you put on the bottom of your shoe to prevent you from falling. I want to bet lightweight and easy-to-use ice traction device, perfect for pedestrians, professionals, and the elderly. The walk provides greater stability while walking on snow and ice. I want to bet. I want to bet money. I want to bet the amount of money that did not go to the Brattle of this, that I can fall even with these things on. I'd be willing to bet money on that. But I'm going to save the wrapping paper to take a picture because that's just too funny. Okay, well that's not even a book. And then we'll do the last thing. The last thing is also bulky. We could be 3 presents in a row here. That would be amazing to me. Because all I want is credit at the Brattle. And yet I'm getting all these thoughtful gifts in the mail. Yes, it is indeed a present. It is indeed a present. Presumably for Frida. This is a gorilla. This is a multi-pet. What is it? Squeeze us and listen to the fun. Could be anything from a barnyard of animals to a tune that makes you want to dance. Cuddle, toss, and snuggle with an extra squeeze. You might get a giggle, a moo, or a chirp. I'm squeezing. This is Frida's instantaneous attention. Oh my, what is that, baby? Well, I should take this stuff off it first before I let you have it. Right? I'm going to have to take this. Frida, you can't just eat it the way it is. No, I need scissors and I don't have them with me, so this is going to have to wait. Well, that's our mail haul for today. We have a gorilla that makes all sorts of noises that has my miniature schnauzer so interested. Well, I wish I could make that the thumbnail. She's now fascinated by this thing. So we have a gorilla. We have Yaktrax that you strap on your shoes for extra traction on icy sidewalks. Then we have Sweet's Folly by Fiona Hill, a hardcover Regency romance. We have Is Europe Christian? Tiny little things from Oxford. We have After Callimachus, poems inspired by the ignored master. And we have the Norton summer catalog, full of good stuff with a request sheet. Fantastic. Okay. And at least one blurb. There's at least one blurb in here from yours truly. There might be others as well, but I'll have to pour through here to see. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna wrap this up and see if I can free that thing so Frida can play with it a bit. But thank you all, uh, especially those of you who sent these presents. Thank you all. It's totally unnecessary to you to go to the bother of doing this for somebody that you see as a disembodied head on YouTube every day. It's the natural order of things is that I send things to you, not the other way around. But thank you so much. I'm going to wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.